screaming. Start streaming here. Then do I gotta do it also over here? Yep. Nope, it just does it automatically. Okay. Cool. And this is webcam selfie cam. So yeah, it's showing my screen already. Okay. So far we are, I was just reviewing here with Lorraine how we ended yesterday. And what I basically said was that I'm going to pull the transcript and I'm going to use that as a tool. So I'll even demonstrate that, right? Because YouTube automatically generates transcripts. And so I'm going to like literally grab the whole thing. Now, there's two ways you can do it. The faster, or sometimes there's two ways you can do it. That's what really matters here. Basically, you can just Google YouTube transcript generator, and there's a thing, YouTube transcripts. You just drop this in, and it will pull it out for you, and you can just copy it. Okay, probably take 30 seconds. Now, if it's a shorter video, I might just go to the top of this. All right, but it's very long, and I will just start selecting. I'll click end. Okay, so the end button on my keyboard, and I can just copy it. But either one will work. Like, you can just go copy transcript here, same thing. Okay, so either way, you're going to get the result that you want. Now here, I'm going to literally paste it in. And you could use Claude, you could use ChatGPT, it doesn't matter. But I'm not going to use this whole conversation for the whole context, but I am going to try to pull stuff out. So if you look at my video yesterday, you would see somewhere I said, hey, I'm going to use, because we came a long way, right? We came from just content to now I'm going to use the transcript. It was like learning from each example. Okay, the detailed breakdown view of the failure change section showing how each problem expands. And like the CTAs looks video, and this tool, this could totally revolutionize how we put this website together.
Yeah.
Okay, you told you in the, again, time. When it's a massive task, you have to accept it's going to take time. Now, if anybody ever watches this, they're probably going to change from, oh, I thought this was an easy task to, okay, so you can literally search the transcript, and I can say here, transcript. And let's see if we can find it. I'll pull the transcript. Granted, you know me. When I go and pull this video, I will pull a transcript. And when I get the transcript, I can work with AI to pull all the important points out. And then I can use those to create more powerful prompts, right? So when I say pull all the important points out, I mean, we can just start right from the top and just say, so this is a transcript from a live stream that I'm doing, and I'm about to start doing session number 2. And at the end of this live stream, I basically said, I'm going to pull the transcript. I'm going to pull all the important points out. What I'm talking about when I say important points is the design cues, the design language, the overall strategy, because I need to build some context in a separate AI conversation. And so expand on that thought process and put it in your own words. What data is there in here that we can use to inform another AI conversation of what we're trying to achieve? Let's just start there. Put what I'm asking you to do in your own words before we take action. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to let it put it in my own words. I'll give you the transcript after you respond. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to send it, because if not, it's going to, this is an API thing. I'm using the API, so I'm paying for every prompt. Now, right now, it's less than a fraction of a penny. It's like half of a penny. But when you put a bunch of context in, it becomes much more valuable, or it costs more. Sure, let's make sure I understand what you're asking. You have a transcript from a live group session. You're going to kick off second session. I want you to translate between my raw content and structured brief. Not so much a structured brief. Because then you're formatting and drawing conclusions. It's more that I want you to mine this conversation for the value. Yes, you can attempt to reconstruct my intent, but you need to make it clear where and when you're doing that. I will build on top of that to give the AI context it needs. That makes sense? You're right about building a context document. But clarifying questions are still gonna be necessary between myself and the AI. We can't just jump to conclusions, let's say. Yeah, okay. Distinction. I don't want me to package it up neatly. I want you to mine it, pull it out, present it more or less as it is. And when you do reconstruct or fill a gap, say, I'm inferring this. Exactly. It's not a finished handoff, it's raw material. Exactly, exactly. Yes, that's more like it. And the reason I'm doing it like this is because I don't want the AI directing this process. The AI is always a helper. I'm always the director. That's how you get more value out of it. That's how you get it to give you your vision instead of it creating its own vision. There are places and opportunities to do that, but that's not how AI is best used. I'm pulling from the transcript raw material organized by theme. What's being built a website for a crawl space company, specific page you're working on as a content page about structural problems in the crawl space. Yeah, that's right. Start with the purpose. Read the context before you read the content before you design it. Content tells you what the visual should be. Scannability is a core value. Page structure. Okay, this is really valuable. Like it took 2 hours of stuff and it compiled it down into some chunks, right? And so like I just scanning this, I feel comfortable passing this over. Because it'll just give us a first whack at it, right? This will be our first attempt. So if I go back to Love Art and we're gonna work under that brand. So I don't want to go back to this. We'll just create a new project just so I can choose the brand. Yeah, my words, exactly. Scannability is a core value. This is a lot to ask of the thing, to ask of Love Art. But if we can break it down and take it one section at a time, and even not just one section, we could have it do the bird's eye view of this page. And that's going to be some of the beauty of this. So let's play with it that way. 6 problem section, why it doesn't fix itself, tools and workflow, phrases and language. You didn't give a final verdict on her. Yeah, okay, that stuff doesn't really matter. Okay, for me, this is good. Now, I want to start this project by getting on the same page, which means we are going to start with a pretty involved discourse. And I only want you to take action when I ask for it. Is that clear? I was going to say, yeah, it's just be a quick little thing. And then we're going to give it all this content. Okay. This is a pretty comprehensive breakdown of how we're approaching this particular page. My wife's creeping in on me. What's up, love? No, I will cook it later. I'll cook it with the vegetables. But that's the point. Is the vegetables as a side, and then I can sear the fish. You know how I sear the fish in the pan so it's crispy. It's like the vegetables a side dish. Okay. All the stuff in the freezer. Hmm. But keep the fillets. I want to see what I can do with the fillets. Give her the stuff in the bags. It's like heads and bones and stuff. Thanks, love. Okay, so pretty comprehensive breakdown of how we're approaching this particular page layout. Can we get on the same page about it before I share the actual content with you? Text content with you? Okay, I need to put that it's my guys. I'm with you. This is a thorough and clear foundation. The page's job is an educational gateway. My process, content first, bird's eye view, mise en place. Read the copy, let the content dictate visuals. 6 problem section. You're open to reordering by severity. Why it doesn't fix itself. Distinct treatment. Okay. Ready for the actual text content. Distinct treatment, conversational, emotional weight. A moment that slows the reader down. Design language over one-off. Build reusable patterns for the whole site. Exactly. The hero. Jeff is an actual crawl space, real damage, EAT. Content, no staging. I'm ready for the actual text content when you are. Okay. And here's where I think we can use some visuals. Granted, this part is not really helping us. You know what? I'm gonna let it lead here. I'm also gonna close that. I'm gonna let it lead here and see between the branding that we gave it and like this, the brand guide and the text content. Um, we'll let it do its thing. So now we need to get the text content. That was SEO. It was problems, right? You still with me, Lorraine?
Yes.
Which problems was it? Structural?
Yeah, structural.
To fly in here. Oh, Scott. Crawl space structural problems. Okay, cool. Here we go. Okay. There's the text content. Now, one thing I've noticed is that I don't think it used any credits. Just talking to it doesn't cost any credits, which is very helpful.
Mm.
It's good to know, like, you can build all the context you want before you have it do anything, and it's not costing me any credits. I could be wrong. Maybe it's used 10 credits, and it might have been 963, but I'm pretty sure, and even still, 10 credits is nothing. There's the text content. Thoughts thus far? Visual aids you need from me besides the brand kit? Okay, so it scares me that it's doing this research right now because I'm afraid that it's going to jump into action. But we'll see what happens. It's thinking, and that's good. It's not saying it's creating something. Now, what I'm thinking next to do is this. It's basically like it says. There's a workflow referenced. Okay. Get it, read it, sketch and wireframe the layout with the content in it. Okay. This is the next thing I'm gonna ask it to do. Yes, we did it manually yesterday, and that's good because that's what gave us this big conversation in our own design notes. But now if we ask it to do the same thing, considering the design notes that we gave it, which are pretty extensive,
Mhm.
right? It's all this. The fact that it knows that this is a bridge or a doorway, that the purpose of this situation and what's deciding it, that I care about the bird's eye view and getting everything in its place, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of value extracted and boiled down, summarized. Okay, now let's see what we got here. This content is excellent. The voice is grounded, builds credibility. I can see why you call the visual opportunities. The opening is visceral. What's actually happening? Rich with visual anchors. The 6 problems. Copy builds the feature chain. Why it doesn't fix itself. Emotional weight. What we find when we inspect. Uh, Specificity is the trust signal. Yes, visual aids I want beyond the brand kit. Jeff in a crawl space. Real not staged. Local context imagery. Clay soil, flat Illinois landscape. House error references. The 6 problems has actual photos. The 6 problems, you want them in interactive tab widget you described, you open to a scrolling editorial reveal where they unfold as the user scrolls. Copy as a natural narrative arc. Okay, so I'm not going to get super dug in right now because it's asking specific questions that are kind of outside the scope of step 1, which is sketch and wireframe the layout with the content in it. Now, if you remember, my approach is generally starting with, so yes, we can. With that in mind, do you have any specific needs or questions? The stuff you asked for is relevant, but it's more like finishing touches. Even if we just use placeholders or temporary images for most of what you mentioned, it's it shouldn't hold us up from making progress. Now, Lorraine, this all comes back to order and keeping the big picture in mind. It would be easy to fall for the trap of just giving it what it wants. But if
Mm-hmm.
it's not relevant, if it's not pertinent right now, we can redirect it. We don't have to just follow along. We are the leader. It is the assistant, and we need to keep that in mind. You're right, I was getting ahead of myself. For sketching, I need to understand. On hover, expand to show full content. Unclick, expand and others collapse. On horizontal scroll accordion where one is, or a horizontal scroll accordion where one is always featured. Okay, I'm going to let it have a lot of freedom here. This is an initial wireframe. Okay. For the widget interaction, when you hover an item, it should highlight it somehow. When you click it, it should feature the one you've clicked. The others should hide, collapse. It can, yeah, that's enough for now. Um, for number 2, I'll let you have control. I think no sidebar. It's gonna be a responsive design. So just treat this like a desktop website, whatever is appropriate for with today for a local contractor. So needs to serve with the average customer. Mobile behavior. Okay. I bet it's gonna just do it. It might respond and like ask for the green light because I've got it on a leash right now, telling it like wait until I do
Mhm.
tell it to do something. Um, let's see, what are we gonna call this? Structural problems. Wireframe. Do that. I'm like, I don't want to press undo or anything. It'll just do it again. Sometimes it will do this. I've noticed that
Mhm.
in love art. I've only seen it happen a few times, but it does happen. Granted, I've done less than like 100 prompts in this tool, so 3 out of 25 or something is pretty high rate of occurrence, but doesn't stop me from enjoying the tool. I do find it's pretty good. Now, we're at this stage, and I don't yeah, you see 2 minutes. I don't want to start going crazy and doing everything from scratch ourselves again, or let's say until it gives us something, or we find some way to give have it give us what we want. If you remember, this is going to be a wireframe, so I'm really curious how it's going to handle this. I've never seen it create a wireframe, but I have seen like AI create wireframes, and they tend to be pretty good.
Mhm.
Uh, you know how AI is. If other people have done it 1,000 times on the internet, AI can do it almost as well as they can. And so I'm excited to see like what it considers to be a wireframe, how it lays it out, what's it's gonna look like. Oh, it's a wireframe,
Oh.
that's for sure. Now, I think it's too wide.
Mhm. It is.
I don't think this is like an appropriate width, but it is. It's probably going to give feedback on its own thing right now, which is interesting or funny. But this is good. It's a good place to start because we can roast it. Here's the wireframe. Let me walk you through. Left aligned with the text. You felt it first. Layout uses max width container, generous white space, and clear section breaks. Okay. I don't want to just engage with it like I don't let it lead me. I want to lead it, right? So for me, this is where I now actually do want to pull some examples. I want to show like, hey, here is what I think. And maybe we should have started here. Maybe we should have started with some examples of like, this is what a healthy amount of space and spacing and everything looks like to me. Like separation between elements, like any of these are decent. Like this is like a healthy, there's not too much white space, there's not too little, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like I can just, how do I want to handle this? Open image in the tab, that's fine. Let me show you a couple examples of what I think is like a healthy, like this is way too busy. And you could show a negative example, but I tend to not like to show AI negative examples because it pays too much attention to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to be very careful about what we give it. And so we could even say like contractor, website, design, and see if we love any of this stuff too. Yeah, I mean, this one's not terrible. I see ones where I'm like, I definitely am not interested in that. I try not to get too wrapped up in it. Let's see how we feel about this one. It's okay. It's too saturated. They don't do any like desaturation, which I find interesting. Um, we might just roll with what we got. And I've made a decision about how to handle it. So open
Mm-hmm.
image in the tab. Open image in the tab. Okay. No. Did I copy this? Okay, let's see if I can copy and paste it. Yep, sure can. I did this already. Okay. These are some example layouts that I favor for a few reasons. Spacing, visual, hierarchy, usage of imagery as a balanced feature rather than just a complement to the text content. Do those seem like reasonable conclusions about the samples I provided? I also think they are a healthier use of horizontal space. How can these examples inform our effort to wireframe? What are you taking away from observing that? It's not a waste. It shows us something of where its head is.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it it jumped too far. It tried to get everything on here. And this is
Yeah.
where
It
like
looks
we're
too
learn
crap.
go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, this looks too crap.
It's too crowded, 100%.
Yeah.
And like for me, you saw like we laid this out over 4 pages.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, this one didn't necessarily need to be a whole page because of what we decided to do about it, but even
Mm-hmm.
still, like it could easily be 4 pages. So like I could show it like, hey, when we wireframed, yeah, your conclusions are spot on. Here's what I'm saying. Horizontal breathing room, section breaks that feel. Yes, okay. your observations are correct and reasonable. The next thing I'm noticing is that you try to cram everything into one window. When we wireframe the text content, it took us 4 pages, windows. Here's a screenshot. Granted, page 2 ended up becoming an accordion tabs based layout element, but still, we're trying to accomplish too much in one render. Can you see how that might be the case also? Okay, and you'll notice, yes, it's not using credits to do this. Try to compress 4 distinct content zones into a single viewport, which forces everything to shrink and compete. Your wireframe spreads across multiple screens. Each section gets the space it needs. What I should have done. Yeah, you should have. You're right. Each section deserves to be a hero of its own moment. By trying to show everything at once, I made nothing feel important. Should I create a Yes. Yes. You should create a multi-panel wireframe that separates the sections coherently without losing the overall vision for the layout, especially considering incorporating the observations we made from the examples provided. How do you think we can achieve that? So, Lorraine, the house helper is like preparing vegetables that I got at the market. We got everything
Mhm.
to make bulalo, but
Oh, uh-huh.
um she's gonna make that tomorrow because the meat is frozen. So I got extra green beans. I got extra uh bok choy, which you guys call pea choy. Um,
Huh?
I got extra kamodi tops and
Oh,
Napa cabbage, which is like the long white cabbage.
uh-huh.
Not the round one. And I like sauteed greens. They're just simple and easy and they're tasty. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh no, it took action instead of because I said you should do this. And instead of just talking to me, it's going to do action. Now, it's about
Mhm.
to render like 5 pictures, I bet. If I had to guess, it's going to take like 10 minutes doing the wireframe, which is fine. I mean, for me and you, it took us 2 hours to do the wireframe. So 10 minutes is
Yeah.
nice. Um, okay, so where was I going with this greens conversation? When I said I wanted the greens sauteed, right? The lady said
Uh-huh.
adobo. And I'm like, not adobo, not adobo. Adobo is like a dish, right? I just want sauteed greens. But ultimately, adobo just means like it's cooked with onions and garlic.
Uh-huh.
Is that right? I find that so
Yeah.
funny.
Sometimes it has vegetables, but yeah. Usually just those then soy sauce and stuff.
Right. Like adobo is like a style of cooking things. It's not so much a dish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay.
Oh.
This is interesting. This is interesting.
Mhm.
And it's funny to me, sort of. It's getting closer, but it's still cramming.
Yeah. Are you talking, David?
No, I'm just typing. Like
Okay.
I'm locked in. I'm
I
locked
was
in right
wondering.
now. It's funny because usually I will read this stuff out loud, right? And I'll just
Yeah.
locked in right now trying to make it work. So this is really good wireframe, but it's trying to accomplish a whole web page in a single image. I still think it needs to be at least 3 pages, renders, page layouts. And that's why I asked, how do you think we can accomplish this? Because I think we need more alignment before we take another whack at it. I mean, it's good. It looks nice. There is a
Hmm.
potential here, but like there's no room for the content, right?
Yeah.
Like once we get, you know how it is, Lorraine. Like we do this with all of our processes. We keep going until we get what we need, and we learn with every step of the way,
Yeah.
right? And so we're going to keep doing that. Now, the way it laid this out, like, it's really nice. It's quite professional. It's cool how it did it, but it's still not enough. But you know that.
Yeah.
Let's step back and answer this question. How do we accomplish this? 3 separate renders, each showing 2 panels. Heroing what's actually happening. Okay. The 6 problems. Okay. What crawl space damage doesn't fix itself? What we find. I personally think we need 4 panels. Like it's you're still trying to do too much. Horizontal storyboard format, 3 wide renders showing sections side by side. Better for seeing a full page flow at a glance. I like what you said about seeing the full page flow at a glance. Is there something we can do that's a step between laying it out and a bird's eye view? I still think we are trying to accomplish you are trying to accomplish too much with your renders. You need to understand every word in the SEO document, text content, needs a place on the web page. We're starting as making like a stick figure where the text can live and there's still a visual idea of how to complement the text with media. Does that make sense? How can we pull that off? Listen, when a tool gives me free credits to talk to the AI, I'm talking it out. I was trying to make it look like a finished page instead of create a stick figure where the text lives. Here's what I'm hearing. Every word from SEO. Yeah, duh, I said that. Visual hierarchy and flow, not finished design. Media placeholders, not polished imagery. Exactly. A step between bird's eye view and fully laid out. We need a schematic wireframe, architectural blueprint, blocks with labels, text box shown, gray bars, images spot. The only thing is don't put only if no alarm Ipsum, because you have the text. It's like the text needs to be the feature and the visuals need to complement the text. The page is the text. The text informs the visuals. I still think it should be 4 schematics. And that's how we're going to do it. Hero section, what's actually happening? Two to 6 problems. 3. Why it doesn't fix itself. 4. What we find in the CTA. Yeah, okay. And you know, if we were going to cram anything together, now where are those examples that we? Oh no. I guess we could look on YouTube. Where did we find? Oh. Hover, tabs, layout, widget. Okay, let's try like this. I was hoping something would be like actually here highlighted, like I actually looked at it yesterday. No. Nah.
Or you can check it on your history.
Yeah, that's a project. You know what I can do is just go right to the video and find it in the video and just screenshot the video.
Huh?
That's probably the easiest way to do it. Just do it. Right, so that it's I'm the top viewer of visual video. Yeah, okay, fine. Element pack. You got him. Shh, we're not buying it. We're not buying it. We're copying it. Thanks, though. I love that you can like put the image in the text like that. I think that's so helpful. I gotta say thoughts or else I think it's gonna like just go to work. Schematic wireframe. Learn of some right. Format options. Single long schematic, 3 schematics. Each box labeled with what content. Every H2 gets a container. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Got it. The text is the feature. The visuals complement it. I see your 4 schematic plan, and yes, 2 and 3 could consolidate. Might take start with 4 separate schematics. Should I start with schematic 1? We definitely need to see all 4 as a set, because before we add flesh to the stick figure, it needs to make sense on its own. Does that make sense? I need a lot of validation, Lorraine. I know you know that. I'm like, tell me yes
Yeah.
or no. Tell me if you understand. Prove it to me that you understand. Uh-oh. Look, see? It's like I'm done talking. It's time to work. I think that's so funny.
Mm.
This gives the full page flow to evaluate before we commit to any design details. And that's the point. That's what I'm going for here, right? So like personally, I think we can just delete these. Definitely can delete that one. This one, I think so too. They're not helping. They're not getting us anywhere. Granted, they're an important part of the process, right? It's not that they're useless. It's that it shows us how the system works. So this is actually a really fun live stream because whoever watches this, if anybody watches this, they're going to get to see the product developing itself, the project, how to use this thing best. Like this could be a video for love art of like how to go from content to like an amazing website in
Mhm.
6 hours. Because I could still see like it's gonna take more time. But that's my point here. Whoever does it after us, it's gonna take way less time because we built the bridge. We shown them like,
Yeah.
hey, and that's how we
Mhm.
do all of our processes, Lorraine. You know that. Like when we write the content, we put a lot of effort into
Reading the
making it work.
process.
Yeah. And it's not even making the process because the process comes after, making the process comes after we get the result.
Mhm.
But you
Oh
don't
yeah.
do two things at once. It doesn't make sense. And that's exactly what we're facing with this. Now, look at this. It's so funny because it's literally doing all four at once, and I've never seen it do that before. Like, even when I did the brand guide,
Uh-huh.
it would like pump one thing out at a time. And that's fine, but I'm really happy about this because it makes me feel like it's doing it all at once. And I don't know if it actually is, but uh-oh. Okay, let's see.
Oh, it did section by section.
Well, it's fair because I told it to do 3 and 4 separate. And so you'll see like this was its own and this one was its own.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Um, okay, so it's showing it this and it's showing it like this. This is interesting. Now, here's one thing we can do, right? Like this. And now you can see what it thinks the website should look like. And for me, it's still way too compressed.
Yeah.
But that's okay, we're getting closer. Like, it treated it as a wide thing, and that's okay. But like, okay, I'm gonna show it this too. Like, how do we get this right the first time? That's what I'm gonna ask it. Um, okay, we're getting closer in our process, but the result still off. Good job on doing 4 panels, but everything is still hyper compressed. Let me show you an example. This is how we handled wireframing the hero section and what's happening. If you recall, scannability, that's close enough, is of utmost importance. So yes, all the text needs somewhere to live, but that doesn't mean we just put big walls of text. It needs to be broken up, scannable, etc. I need to. Take, for example, also this structural damage fix itself section. One of the rules of scalability, for me anyway, is to make the sentences incomplete thoughts easy to read and absorb, especially even if you're scanning speed reading. A big block of text, not likely to be engaged. Someone looking for specific information on a big page like this is going to find it in a couple different ways, which complement one another. The words being easy to visually identify, scanning, and visual aids media that draws attention to. When making sense, don't act, communicate. You know me, Lorraine. I will use every credit and buy more credits just to make this work. Because if we can't get the stick figure right, we'll never get the page right.
Yeah.
Scannable lines like poetry, a soft spot on the floor, a bounce. Exactly. Visuals are integrated with the text, not beside it. The images illustrate specific phrases. What's actually happened uses small image thumbnails that connect to specific ideas. House styles for the 1940s and 1970s. Oh, yeah, okay. Image 2, why it doesn't fix itself. Bullet points for scannability. Each sentence complete thought gets its own line. The emotional weight, what I did wrong. I treated text as content to fit rather than content to design around. Okay. Scannability means every complete thought should be easy to spot even at a glance. Visual hierarchy serves the text, not the other way around. I need to redo this. Do you think you can achieve it based on what we've discussed? How is your approach going to change this time? Should we review everything we've shared and discussed in this convo to illuminate what has worked, what hasn't worked, and what direction we found to resolve those failings so that we have a clean and comprehensive place to start? Let's see what we get. Yes, I think I can achieve, but I want to be sure. So let me review. I would like for you to be sure too. What we've agreed on, text is primary, visuals complement it. The page is the text. Scannability is paramount. 4 schematics, not one compressed layout. Visual anchored to specific ideas. Whitespace as a tool. Yep. Read the text sentence by sentence. What visual could anchor this? For a wireframe, this should do it, right?
Mhm.
Do you think we need to review the content and you come up with a plan in a literal sense before you what do we call this? Execute? Like, you could break it down in text form before you produce the 4 images. Probably wise, yeah? It's gonna say, yeah, of course. Its little face, the little face is tripping me out. Yeah, that is wise. Let's break it down. I can't tell if you're creeping or not. Yeah. Sometimes the door just like starts cracking open on its own, and then other times, yeah. Because the lights are off in there too, so it's dark. I can't see. What's up, love? Your color? No, you stay inside. You're not Morena. You're a little whitey now. What do you want, baby? Okay. Okay. Tiny? Yeah. Oh, you've been eating them? Okay. Well, it's good. It's for us, love. Enjoy. I want to start the project by having, okay, that's me. What's actually happening section? Okay, cool. So it just chose to do one. Does the structure work? Let's see. Should you continue with schematics 2 to 4 and same before? Okay. Since we've gotten here, I'm gonna let you render this first section because if it works well, we can follow that style for the rest of the bird's eye view stick figure wireframe. You're out of here. Get out of here. This is fun. I know it takes a long time, but again, Lorraine,
Yeah.
you know me. I'm not constrained by the time. We've already gotten like 2 weeks into this project without getting the result that I want. So we have to put more time in sharpening the axe, right? Like this
Yeah.
is, and okay, something that people need to learn about life is every step builds on the quality of the previous step. So if your preparation is bad, your finished product's going to be worse.
Mhm.
So like if the wireframe isn't just right, then whatever you put on the wireframe is going to be worse. It's going to be wronger, right? If you're
Mhm.
making French onion soup and you burn the onions, well, just start over. It's made out of onions. You're not going to be able to fix the soup by using a poorly executed ingredient.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that's life. You've got to respect the process, right?
Mhm.
It's not easy, but it's simple.
Yeah.
And so we're going to respect the process. We're going to let it do its thing. Now, one thing I'm realizing is I shouldn't have given these examples. It's like, you know how when we write the content, like we have to be very careful about, okay, this is better, but now it's losing some panache here. This is much better.
Yeah, it
Where's the
looked too
panache?
plain.
Yeah, do it like, oh, top level layout editor would do for a magazine. Something like that. You're way closer, much more on the right track. But now it's missing style. You do have the opportunity to be creative at this step. You're just working within specific constraints. Can you see the opportunity to improve? this even within the given constraints? How do you see it? How would you handle it now, given that insight? Discuss. Don't do something. Tell me about it. I see it now. I've been treating schematic as boring, but top layout editor's wireframe has style even if it's a stick figure. Exactly. It's too centered, it's too balanced. They could, yes, you're getting it. You're getting it. Yes. Whoops. Yes. You're getting it. We're getting very close. If this comes out right, it will act as an excellent foundation for which to complete the wireframe and to build actual content layout on top of. Can you see that? Do you understand that if we don't this right, the final product will be worse, not better? This is the backbone of the layout. Fair? To put the word yes there is scary because it's gonna go, yes, I should do it. Fair. I understand. If the schematic is weak, everything built on top of it will inherit the weakness. This is the backbone. A magazine layout editor's wireframe isn't just where things go, it's how the eye moves, where it rests, where it feels. Yes. Yes. And in our example, the and you know, and probably theirs too, the copy is what drives and informs that, right? Keep that in mind as you execute. Go ahead. A magazine layout editor's wireframe isn't just where things go, it's how the eye moves, where it rests, what it feels. The rhythm has to be right at this stage. It's not just that, and that's why I said what I did. It's that what's on the page is made up of what the words say. And that, what the words say, tells you how it should feel, where the eye should move, etc. Now, you've got to remember AI, these tools, they have the capacity to operate at an extremely high level, but you have to demand that of them.
Hmm.
The truth is, Lorraine, everybody has that capacity, but you have to demand it of them because people don't necessarily go out of their way to be excellent. I know you've seen it working with me. It's like, if you want to work, I'm going to I'm going to demand that you do your best work. And
Yeah.
the sad thing is that everybody can do things really well. It's just some people it takes more time and effort and thinking and uh, they don't have the habit of forcing themselves to do things with excellence. Okay, I don't know what this thing is about, but it's okay. Get out of here, video generator. Okay, now it's going to roast its own work, and this is interesting. I have never seen a website use something like this, unless it's like cropped out. But the way I'm seeing it is almost like a window in.
Yeah.
Can you like dig what I'm talking about with like the 3D aspect of it?
Media aspect.
Like, okay, picture of museum where it's 3D. Oh, this is such a bad search. Like this. No, no, no. I saw
Oh,
it. I saw,
okay.
no, no, I saw a thing like this, where like when you, oh, come on, when you look, the way I see the image is like this to me,
Oh,
where
okay.
it's like I have to turn my head to like think I'm looking at the
Properly
wall.
see it.
Yeah. It's same
Mhm.
idea, but this is a better example because it's more extreme. So like when it did that in the layout, I'm seeing it like that, where I have to like turn my head to look straight at it. Now, it already did a better job. Is it perfect? No, but it's a huge improvement, I think.
Except for that huge.
This thing,
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of like it because it's different.
Oh.
Like, it's not, no, is it the perfect right thing? I don't know. But is it a huge improvement? Yeah, it is. It's night and day. Like this now looks like a hero section. It looks cool. It looks interesting. It gives some visuals. Like it's showing us that it has the capacity to do what we need it to do.
Mhm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, um, okay, there's a um I'm gonna explain to you I'm gonna explain to you what I don't love about it. Because it says asymmetry in the hero, sure, but then everything in this page is weighted on the right-hand side.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
just text over here, images over here. Boring, lame. You have more potential than that. Next, is more of the same critique. It's not just that it's over here and it's over there. It's like it separated the text from the visuals, and that's a mistake.
Mhm.
Like this right here doesn't need to be a bullet point. Like this could be its own section. It's just treating it as the text needs to be over here, the images need to be over there. The other problem is this right here, where we already decided that visually this H1 could have more style. Like
Mhm.
what's failing under your home is a separate thought from the keyword itself, crawl space structural problems. So like it could be smaller, it could be italic, it could be like, even though it's not using color, it could be a different like shade or like
Yeah.
grade or not opacity, but like saturation,
Uh-huh.
right? Now, same thing here. It's like, okay, it's just treating this stuff as just bold. So let's see what it says. What's working? What's screaming at me? The hero placeholder is too passive. It's just a diagonal box. Cropping scale drama. Yeah, but that's not part of it. The symptoms are too uniform. Same size, same weight. It's a slow one, gets lost. Yes, this absolutely. And this is something that I said. This one, yes, absolutely. The house gallery is too tidy. Actually, this is one of the major issues, but not necessarily why or what you said. Everything in this layout is just text on the left, media on the right. It's kind of lazy in that way. For instance, the treated, and if your home like a bullet point, but it's its own thought. It deserves. It's funny, Lorraine, because you're watching me roast the AI the same way that I roast your stuff, right? So at least you know it's
Yeah.
not personal. You say, "Oh, okay, it's just David like is literally looking at it and critiquing it." You know that's my way, but it's funny
Yeah.
because if this was your stuff, it would have taken you longer to do this, and it would have, you would have got my feedback the same way. But it's its own thought. It deserves a feature, so to speak.
Mhm.
That's the idea here, right?
Yeah.
Let the content, text content, dictate what should be there and why. I don't want to have to hold your hand through this whole process. I feel I already expressed this concept. So how can we make it more clear, salient, weighted? How does it need more depth of communication? Depth or clarity of communication before we create the wireframe? Should we be asking you to identify each potential visually significant piece of text idea in the content before you execute? Help me help you. It's an easy job. I'm just kidding. It's not. Like, I'm asking for extremely high level of execution here. This issue isn't just that the houses are the same size boxes. I didn't ask, what does this content want to be? I was lazy. Listen, at least it admits it. I default to a pattern instead of reading the content. How do we fix this? Before I execute, I should identify the visually significant pieces of text ideas and propose a treatment for each. Yes. And how do we do that in one shot? Like, if you were me trying to get the result I'm after, but you only had one or two prompts to get it, and they can be as long or short as they need to be, how would you communicate it? I need your help, please. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. I need another screen
Mhm.
for like the live stream for like when I want to step away from the computer because now I'm like I gotta go pee. And I have no like I could go to the full face screen, but then it's just a camera of me not being here. Um if I were you, here's how I'd communicate in one prompt. Create an where the text content dictates a layout on a predetermined grid. For each significant idea in the copy, ask, what does this need to be? What's actually happening? Closing thoughts. Let them breathe. Space between the lines. No. Yeah, but this is the problem when it goes rules like this. I would just take this out. Each idea finds its own visual expression. Asymmetry, scale variations, grid breaks where the content demands it. I don't know. It's going to be dictated. I still personally, what's actually happening? See, but this is the problem. Now it's telling me to do this stuff. No, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. What you suggested doesn't actually work. Oh, whatever. So now we're just getting distracted, and it's kind of sucks because I can't adjust its responses, and like that's a major distraction. And so I almost feel like we have to start from scratch now that I did that. And I'm okay with that because starting from scratch might actually save us a lot of headaches and we'll get closer to the process. So I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. I'll come back and we will go through this conversation, create a new spin-off, and try to get something more like this on the first prompt.
Okay.
Okay, it'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if at first you don't succeed, try again.
Yeah.
Uh, This is so much closer. Okay, so I'm gonna say, okay, your suggestion will not work, but that's okay. I'm not gonna get distracted by that. Let's just say, describe to me in your best extensive detail the style and approach that describes exactly what we have rendered in this most recent attempt. Not the details of this specific page's content, but the format, the tool or resource we're putting together. What informs it, what makes it succeed or fail, etc. Okay. And then we will just go love art again. I love art. The tool we're building is an editorial schematic wireframe. And this is like literally, let's go.
Mhm.
It's like, it's cheating. What defines it? Text as the primary driver. The layout serves content, not the other way around. Every structural decision, where something sits, how large it is, how much space it gets, flows from the meaning and weight of the words. The schematic asks, what does a sentence want to be? And answers with spatial relationships. We're building extensive context before we execute. Please stay in discussion mode unless specifically asked to take action. Context follows. Yep, so true. Visual anchoring. Specific phrases get specific visual comparisons, not generic image here, but label placeholders that describe what the image should communicate. The visual serves the idea it sits next to. Yep, so true. This is magazine layout thinking applied to web. Yes, beautiful. Treating all text as equal. Yeah, okay, so true. Tidy grids with the content oriented symmetry, passive image placeholder instead of dramatic visual suggestions. So true. Forgetting that white space is a design element. So true. Can you look at the schematic and feel how the page will read? Does the design, does the rhythm come through even in rough form if you have to do this working? Okay. Now, in order for that to be successful, the page content itself needs to be interpreted before execution happens. How can, if given the, how can we ensure that happens by text communication before interpreted clearly? I'm literally just going to use my own thing here. In order for that to be successful, the page content itself okay, so now I'm literally going to go through and see what did we start.
Mhm.
I might actually go like this. No, I don't want to lose that. Okay. Now, funny enough, this is the process prompt, right? We're setting the pace for the process itself with this.
Mhm.
Please reiterate to ensure alignment. Okay, we'll start there. Because after that, then we're going to talk about the project itself. So we start with this is the capsule. This is the sandbox in which we're working or living. And then after that, we can go to this is the specific instance. It's like how we first understand the page before we bring in the local context or before we bring in the client's voice.
Mhm.
If you handle this stuff out of order, it's going to give unnecessary weight, or those things are going to steer things that they shouldn't. So we're building an editorial schematic wireframe. It literally just basically repeated stuff back. Can you look at the schematic and feel how the page will read? Does the rhythm come through even in rough? Before any execution, the page self content must be interpreted clearly. Is this the alignment? This happens through text communication. First, not jumping straight to generation. Correct. Website. Specific page we work on is a content page about structural problems in the crawl space. It sits in a hierarchy of informational content. These are fun to share. There are category topics pages like problems below that, subpages like structural problems. This structural problem page sits in the middle of that. It's gateway down and receives traffic from above. Sure. The purpose of this page is to help people be able to understand structural problems in their house When you come to this page, you're wondering at the end of the page, you probably. These are principles. Some of this stuff might want to live above. We might be able to live without this also. It like the prompt that we gave might encapsulate enough that that's the situation because we're talking about starting with the purpose, or like the content is supposed to inform itself. Um, read the content before you design it, same deal. The content tells you what the visual should be, same deal. All that's integrated into the prompt that we created. Scannability is a core value. Is that still here? Scannability as a core, yeah, there you go. Once you have one of these, okay, yeah, whatever, page structure. I'm not going to concern myself with that. The problem, you identified 6 topics, okay? Your solution concept, a tab, card, widget, all 6 items over, okay. We're not going to deal with that yet. Why it doesn't fix itself section? Yeah, all this is like too much. We're just going to try to get these top 2 set up. Tools, workflow references, doesn't matter. The answers are in the content, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and then this is where I gave it the content itself. Like I said, these are too soon.
Mhm.
Just create a multi-panel web frame. Every word in the SEO document needs a place on the web page. But that's already been like focused or whatever. Now, do I want to go further here? Let's see the project, what's being built, the purpose, etc. Trying to decide how far do we go with this next one. I'm going to consolidate down to be 2 and 3 together. All text needs somewhere to live. Okay, this is where I want to ask it to do the exercise. And so let's go down here and see. Now, the exercise of taking a piece of content and describing it. This is absolutely crucial. How do we instruct that as the first next step for a separate conversation without giving it the context yet? Content. I'm trying to teach it the exercise before we give it the content
Mhm.
so that we can see if it succeeds at the. Before we create the editorial schematic, we need to analyze the content together. Here's the process. We need to separate the instruction phase from the execution phase. What's being built? Category page. It's the purpose of this page. When we come to this page. As described. Page content must be interpreted clearly. That will be our first exercise. Step 1. Content mapping. Read through the text and identify every significant idea, pivot line, and emotional hook. If you just say those three things, it will just do those two things. So that's why I'll say etc. because hopefully at least it'll say. Propose. Propose. What visual treatment does this want? Standalone, paired with imagery, large, small, breaking the grid, etc. Layout architecture, map the flow. Where does the iris? I understand. Let me what's being built, a web page for a cross-based company, specifically a content page about structural problems, sits in the informational hierarchy. The page is a gateway. The user journey. When they arrive, do I have okay, I probably do. The page's problem is diagnostic persuasion. Our two steps process. Do this, do this, do this. Before any pictures are placed, we understand what piece of content wants to be. Yes. Here is the content. I want two first sections. The hero section and oh yeah, okay, I'm not gonna do that. I'll just give it to you. Excellent. Where is the content? Found it. Please execute the exercise, including with all in mind on previous direction. Let's see how it does. Execute the exercise in the first two sections, reading for meaning, rhythm, and visual potential. The H1 wants asymmetry. Okay, perfect. Okay, amazing. You know that this is important to me, Lorraine. This is something that I identified. It was able to identify it as well. So already I'm like, this is good. This is good. The geography paragraph. It also pulls, okay, okay, maybe. It might go too deep, and we'll see. Flow map. It's going hard. Very nice. Was that just for the hero section? No, H2 journalistic. Blah 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 blah. It's going hard. Wow, let's go. Okay, now again, I'm going to reinforce specifically what we're looking for. Um, this analysis is an excellent jumping off point. Create the nope, editorial schematic wireframe as directed. You know how it is. Sometimes if you give it just what it needs, it rocks it from the first shot. So we'll see. You know, like when we do the content writing, when we do the process for the content writing, the first few times we're like wrestling with it to give it what it wants. But then once we understand the language to use,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it takes a very little prompting to get exactly what you want. And so we'll see. Oh no, okay. One thing we forgot to do is this. And we can go editorial, wireframe, schematic, wireframe, process. Could be, could work, could be good.
Let's hope for the best.
I mean, no matter what, we'll be closer. Okay,
Uh-huh.
okay, 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 okay. I'm really sitting with this and trying to make it work. Like in my mind, how do I feel about it? Because it's treating me as just text.
Yeah.
And that's the problem is like, there's not enough image, visual. Now, the problem with this tool that I personally have is that I can't edit anything. So everything I do, I have to go and rebuild again. And it's okay because it doesn't cost credits. It only costs credits when you actually do something. And there's going to be a lot of copying and pasting. And so now we have to find some way to make it give us more visuals. The issue here for me, if this were a newspaper or a zine, and it were mostly text based, this could work really well. The issue I'm seeing is that websites, modern digital media, and specifically this content needs a lot of visuals. Or let's say needs visuals. The text is the feature here. There's value in that. But it's missing the real visuals that can truly complement and bring this to the next level. Where did we go wrong? Let's talk about it. I'm happy to take responsibility of why the result came out this way. What was my big mistake? Ah, You're right to push on this. Thanks for the validation, buddy. Where we went wrong, it said, no, I'm going to join you. A mistake was trusting me to execute without the source material. It gave me 2 sections of test and asked me to analyze, but I never saw the actual content. I was working from a summary, not the raw source. Actually, as text is already refined when it needs to be interpreted from the source, I deferred to editorial text forward, no visual hooks. I couldn't specify a visual. A schematic, that's 80% text, 20% visual. Okay, this is cool. Because I can just say the schematic should really be 50% text, 50% visual. I'm going to push back. You don't need the visuals at all. I think something you said was right, though. I need to, in my prompt somewhere, tell you that the layout really should be I don't think it's fair to say that it should be image forward with text and service because text is what drives SEO. And this is a website. And the text really is what makes the page. The images bring the text to life. So that's the whole point of the schematic wireframe. Duh. We need to know what images to use, where, how, etc. to complement a text. Thoughts? Yeah, no, you're right. No, you're right. You know exactly what it's going to say. What you actually need
It's
a
a
schematic.
yes man.
Yeah, it's every time. A schematic that's 50% text, 50% visual, where text drives. Visuals activate. The schematic decides which specific phrases get which specific. Yes, this is right. This is right. Where I misread you, you said create the editorial schematic wireframe as directed. I said execute the analysis I just approved. But the analysis was step 1 to 3, content mapping, layout, architecture, visual anchor. I treated those as separate phrases and delivered schematic that was 80% the first 2 steps. What you want is step 3, executed with the equal weight of steps 1 to 2. Explicit balance in the prompt. Going forward, the prompt needs to state the ratio explicitly. Create the editorial schematic wireframe. It must be 50% text, 50% visual. For every significant text block, specify the exact visual content. Okay, this is good. Let's try and make these edits and see what happens. Because maybe it's wrong, but we're closer. And, you know, something in me wants to be like, we haven't made any progress. But that's not true.
We're making progress.
Yeah. Explicit balance of the prompt. Create the editorial schematic wireframe. It must be 50% text. Okay. No generic placeholders like image house. Name the specific visual. Sagging girder. Thermal. Humidity gradient. Yeah, cool. The schematic's job is to prescribe the visual production, not just suggest image here answers. Yes. Okay. Give it a go. Let's see. Let's see what it does before we go and create a new one. It's only credits after all. do it. Um, this is going to be at the execution stage, okay? Okay, maybe this will help. Okay, we're getting somewhere. All right, it needs more white space, but
Mhm.
it's working. It's doing work. The problem here is that it put the description as part of the. I like the blur. It's put the description as a part of the content instead. It shouldn't work like that. And it's like lost the white space necessary. Um, I'm gonna just keep working here forwards. Okay, so now this is where I give it the content, and then we change how we tell it to execute. Now, one thing we could do is have it create the schematic and then
Mhm.
describe it after. Like say, hey, put your notes in the text box. Okay, here's the problem. It's doing it didn't create a visual. It created a text. So we'll see. Maybe it's like giving itself instructions before it puts it together. We'll also see about that. I think Fireflies gave up on us.
Yeah.
It said, I'm done. That's so funny. Yeah, this wasn't necessary, I don't think. What it gave up above was fine. But we'll see if it will be finished typing and just actually do the work. I think it's going way too overboard now. Which means I have to like rewrite it. And that's okay. I will just rewrite it from scratch or like not from scratch. I will personally edit it, let's say. Oh buddy, you're being so dramatic. Ready for the remaining sections. Are you oh okay.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna try again. At least it doesn't cost credits. Okay, so now I gotta go back again for the project, open that most recent one. Untitled? Must be. But yeah. I should have said like render. I wonder if just with my project alone, they're gonna go, oh, we need to charge for text generation.
Mhm.
Blah 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 blah. Still call it exercise. Then we have to say render. Specificity. I'm taking that out. Let's see what we can do. Okay, let's go. Make something. Make it good. 2 minutes.
Oh.
All right, all right, all right. It's funny because the first one was close. That first conversation we got close.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, cool, let's go. Start from scratch. This is the most excited part of the stream is sitting here not saying anything, waiting for the image to render. Now, I know when we get through this, the payoff is going to be great. Part of me wants to like find a shortcut, cut around it, get to the end, but that's not how it works. If it takes 3, 4, 5 sessions to figure it out, that's what it takes. It's okay. I know once we figure it out, it's going to do a better job than I could do myself. Like part of me is tempted to like show it the other result. And then another part of me says, let's keep working on that first conversation. 2 minutes. This is going to be the one. You just wait. You just wait. This is the one for sure. Probably, maybe. This was the good one. It's working real hard. Oh, interesting. Interesting. It's it's better, sort of. There's something going on here about, let's see about the text. How do you feel about it so far, Lorraine?
Um, feel conflicted.
What's that?
Hmm. I feel conflicted of the layout.
Yeah, talk to me.
Um, Maybe the headers and the text kind of is out of the. I mean, no,
It's missing
it's all over
text.
the place. Yeah,
It's all over the place? Huh.
yeah, it's all over the place, and it's missing some of the context as well.
Roast it. Roast your result. What film? What what went wrong? What's missing? How would you how does it compare to the instructions given? The schematic is ready for production handoff. You're right to push. Yeah, thanks. The H1 treatment contradicts the content mapping. You didn't imagine it. It's lost to standalone. The atmospheric thing, well, you also skipped a whole bunch of content. I treated the schematic as a layout, but it should be a prescription for visual production. Okay, this is stuff I can steal. We can use in our prompts. The labels say what the images should communicate, but they don't say. Designer gets into it. Okay. For me, there's a couple things. Part of what I think might not be working is how we're talking about magazine. I think the magazine part is like there's some stuff that's working here, Lorraine, and then there's other things that are like strictly failing.
Mhm.
Now, also, this is going too far. This is going way too far. Like, um, yeah, let's do this. Copy, copy. That's not the thing. Image is copied. Sure it is. This image, while stylistically lacking, is closer in spirit, purpose to what we're actually looking for. What do you draw from that comparison? I only ate some grapes today.
Grapes.
Grapes? Yeah, yummy grapes.
Uh-huh.
The designer knows that's what the package says on the grapes that I like. That's how they sell them. Yummy grapes. I think they're from Australia.
Human grapes. My mom loves grapes.
It's literally this. Yummy grapes, just like this. And they are, oh, they got a flavor to them that's not like the boring grapes. There's something about
Huh?
these grapes. They taste like grapey.
Sweeter
And it's not the
than
sweetness, it's
usual.
the flavor. Like, it's
Oh.
hard to explain it. It's not floral. It almost tastes like an artificial grape. Like, the grape flavor that you can think of that's fake is based
Mhm.
off of these types of grapes, I think. It's like a
Oh.
gummy. It's like a gummy. Um, my schematic was a layout. This is a system of treats of pages, a sequence of editorial decisions made visible. The text sizes themselves carry rhythm. Large, small, large, shout, whisper, shout. My schematic kept relatively uniform. Oh, I'm burnt out. I'm burnt out. Not gonna lie. Um, we gotta try again. You know what I mean? And I
Mhm.
gotta do it fresh. Like, this is not, it's good too, because you have work to do. I know you do. But like this is close. This is really close. Even if we
Yeah.
have to like reproduce the process just to get to this is close. If we can get it to get the style, like doing the breakdown thing, I don't think is serving us. Where like, oh, we have it do all this text. It's doing way too much and still not getting us the result that we want. And so, and that hand is terrible. We need to try again. We went too quickly from, and it's funny because this is how we started the conversation. You need to get the result first before you create the process. But I think you see what I'm trying to do, which is cut out a bunch of unnecessary context. Like when we use Typing Mind, when we use the API, unnecessary content, unnecessary context is our enemy. It makes the result worse. But in this one, we have a bunch of context, and ultimately the result got better.
Yeah.
And so we got to find the middle ground, buddy.
Yeah. But
Crying
I
through
think that
text.
maybe we can do it section by section, like not like two sections at a time. Maybe it will work that way.
That's not a bad idea, to be honest. And it's funny because that's your approach. But I wanted to see the whole page first,
Yeah.
top
Yeah.
down, bird's eye view, so that it understands. Like there's a
Hmm.
hierarchy, there's a flow. And it's sort of like how when we do an outline of the content before we do the content, it makes sense.
Hmm.
And so I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll meditate on it. We gave it a shot. This was session two, and I still think it shows off like that this thing has real capability. And
Mhm.
it also really speaks to the fact that my standards are super high. Like, we could have just kept going here and like had
Mhm.
something good. Um, but it's not good enough for me. So we'll try again tomorrow or later or something. Probably tomorrow because you have to get your video editing done.
Mhm.
All right, buddy. Well, it was fun.
Right.
Let me turn this thing off. We'll give it another shot. It was only an hour. Oh, it was 2 hours.
Yeah, it is too.
When I went back to the window, it said 1 hour, 5 minutes, and then it refreshed and it says 2 hours and 8 minutes. So 2 hours is a good session length for these.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll give it another shot. Later, buddy. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, David.
Bye.
Bye.
It's funny because I like end the stream and then I have to go end the call. It's so